Hi everyone, Liz here. Thanks for stopping by. So we've got a completion done. Ha! Did you all think I'd get this done in a week or not? Well, I got it done in 2 days. So yeah, I only did an unboxing on this the other day, and this is my Happy Father's Day canvas from DIYchoose.com. It was sent to me as part of a PR package, so I haven't paid for it. But as I say, my reviews are always honest, and if I find any faults, I will let you know. But to be fair, this one was lovely, and it would have cost £2.93 if I had purchased this one. There are quite a few offers at the moment, so there's a few free gifts, I think, if you spend so much or buy so many. And there is, I think there's 15% off if you spend so much, and there is various offers on postage. So pop along to DIYchoose.com and have a look at the website and see what applies to you in your country, wherever you live. But yeah, so let's have a look at this one. Yeah, thank you DIY Choose for sending me these projects. As I say, this one I thought, right, I'm going to get this one done and get it done for my dad. I didn't expect it would arrive in time, but yeah, just a couple of nights. To be honest, I just literally did the whole of the background first, which does look like B5200, but it is 3865. It's funny how when you get a massive amount of the 3865, it looks really, really white. But I think the extra white, the B5200, which is like pure white, would have just looked too much on this. It's got the little like turquoisey colour bubbles in the background as well, which is really clever because usually you don't want the background to show through. But this had actually, they are pale on these bubbles in the background. They are pale blue gems, drills, rather than the 3865. And then because there's the blue background that they've been put on, it just makes them stand out that little bit more. Just very subtle. Let me see if you can, yeah, you can see it better close up. So you can see the blue underneath the drills, and then the pale shade of blue, which is practically white. Just really, just very subtle, very nice. And as I say, when I unboxed this, I did say this is a great generic Father's Day, because not all dads go for fishing or play sports or play golf or cricket or anything like that. You know, when you go looking for cards for dads, if they haven't got like a hobby, they don't watch sport, then it's quite difficult sometimes to get things for them. But I just thought that this is really generic, and I think it'd be lovely for a younger child as well to give a parent. So if you did it for that, it would be really nice. But yeah, I did change out the colour of the R because it was a very, very pale blue. And when I put it down, oh, that drill's just popped up there. Oh, I've put it upside down. I'll have to sort that out before I do anything with it. It's my eyesight. That's the trouble with squares. Sometimes I do put them upside down. But yeah, I did use a turquoise colour to match in with the A there. It was this very pale blue colour, and it just didn't stand out. You couldn't read it. I mean, obviously Dad you can read, that's brilliant, and Day. And the Happy, but with the Father being blue, I even nearly changed it into the reds and pinks, but then I thought no, I like the fact that it sort of coordinates with this and then coordinates with the balloons coming up as well. So yeah, and there were really good drills. I didn't find any trash, no knobbly bits. The canvas was lovely. It just worked up like a dream. I think you do tend to find that if you get a canvas that's really nice, poured glue in this case, that you just enjoy doing it. You smile while you're doing it. Even though I had all this, and I do single place, I don't use a multi-placer, so I've single placed all of these whites, all of these 3865s around. As I say, I did all the 3865 first, then I did all the pale blue, which is in the background, and then I just filled all the colours in, and I just really enjoyed doing it. Wonderful canvas to work on. Nice soft canvas as well, this one. And I've mentioned in previous videos that if you get these like creases where it's been folded over, you can see it's still got the creases on it. Now this has got all the drills on it, it's flattened down. You can still see on the edges where the creases are, but you can't see them on the canvas. The weight of the drills has flattened out the canvas underneath. So you I found that you don't really need to iron or try and over flatten anything that's a full drill, but with partials you would still see these lines coming down if there was no drills on all of it, which usually there isn't. So it's just something to watch out for. But yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to make this into a card or not. I may or may not, or I may just put it in a frame. I haven't quite decided yet. I have still got a couple of days to think about that one. I will possibly do a film on it. It is so hot here in the UK at the moment. We're around about 80 degrees and we tend not to have air conditioning or anything in our houses. So yeah, and it just, with being brick houses as well, the bricks hold the heat and you tend to find it's very humid, very muggy, and you perspire a lot. Ladies perspire. So yeah, being shut in my craft room, with it being small and having a lot of things in it at the moment, I am finding that I can't be in here huge amounts of time actually filming. And I would love to do a filming in the lounge, in the living room, but hubby doesn't want to be on film, doesn't want to move out of the living room while I'm doing it, so whatever. He won't be getting a Father's Day card. No, I will. I always do him a little card from Million, and obviously the kids send him cards as well. But yeah. Okay. I did think that the P having the little blue bit in the middle and the D there having that, I did nearly change it out, and then I thought, no, actually it just adds to the design. And yeah, it's lovely, happy colours. I'm really, really pleased with how this has turned out. So we did have all drills in bags. Let me get them out. And they are in numbered bags as well. Just throw that away. The bin's a bit full. So, look at these bags. They've all got diamonds on, they're all numbered. So let me just check I've got them all in the right order. We will need the canvas for the DMC codes. I do quite often put the key code onto the bags, but because I was in a rush and I wanted to get this done and I didn't know how good the canvas was going to be, because I tend to find, as I say, if you have a good canvas, you enjoy doing the picture more. If it had been a yucky canvas that I wasn't enjoying doing, and I was getting popping drills or drills with bits on, then I probably wouldn't have finished it quite so quickly. But because it was lovely, I just really, really enjoyed doing this one. Just spent those few hours a couple of evenings. I think I did more or less the whole of the background in one evening, and then I did the rest of the background and most of the colours in the other. And then I think one morning I just spent about half an hour just finishing off just odd little bits on it and changing out the R. So yeah, really lovely to do. Okay, have I said lovely enough? So I need to get these drills I put away. They need to go in my round drill storage. So I've got my boxes out already. As I say, the least you move about in this weather, the better. It's one of those times where you hope you don't get too close to somebody because you don't want them to come with a peg on the nose or go oof as they walk past you. The only good thing is, because it's warm and humid, everybody's the same. Everybody is a little bit, yeah. Okay, right, let me grab a tray so we don't spill, because we are tipping from bags. So our first colour, oh, and I'll grab a little tray as well, just to go down my list so that I don't get confused, because you know I'm easily confused. So our first one is 340, and I will be keeping these bags because I just love the fact that they've got diamonds on. Oh, look at that lovely lavender colour. Okay, my storage set up. If you want to leave me a comment, I can give you the details of that. Anybody that's been watching me a while will know it's based on admorezest.com, their storage system. And a lot of the things that I have and use are from that company as well. So, or if you want to pop over to Rebecca's Add More Zest YouTube page, you will see there all the details of it as well, and details of what's available and what to buy. Oh look, my little labels come off now. See, it's just so hot here, everything is just ugh. I've got a door curtain, like a screen that just sticks around the door frame, and if it's dropped off once, it's dropped off about 20 times. It's just to stop the flies coming in, because we like to have the door open and the windows open so that you get the air, if you do get any air blowing through. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice again. I've talked far too much. But yeah, so I've put this fly screen up, and because it's so warm, the glue's not keeping it stuck, and I keep having to put it up. But it's better than having flies in. Don't like flies, really dislike flies intensely. I know where they hang out, so I don't want them hanging out in my house after they've been to some of those things that they go on. Okay, so this is a lovely bright orange colour. And yep, there's no static in these drills. They're transferring from one bag to the other really nicely. I don't know what I'm going to do with these bags, but I'm definitely keeping them. You can't throw something that looks as nice as that with a diamond on away, can you? Well, I can't anyway. Okay, so number 3 is 677. So, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all okay. Oh, I've got a few escapees in that one, look. They've, in fact, there's about 3 different colours in that one. 4 different colours, oh dear. And I don't mean the different shades of the yellow, I mean the different colours that have escaped into there. I must have had some different ones in my tray or something while I was doing them. Okay, so yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay, and that if you've got any illnesses or anything, they're going okay and you're doing okay. I know a few of my ladies that send me little messages and things are going through some tough times, so big healing hugs to them, and lots of woofs and sloppy licks from Millie. Only if you want sloppy licks. We've had one heck of a day yesterday. Honestly, it was like Spaghetti Junction in here. I think we'd sort of like organised a party and forgotten about it, the amount of people that kept coming and going from our house. It was just absolute madness, and Millie just had a whale of a time, and everybody got kisses, whether they wanted them or not. Alright, I've just got that one in the wrong place. Sorry, you can't quite see that, can you? I'm trying to keep this part in shot. I think I'll have to try and get my camera to go up a little bit more, maybe. Right, so 704, that looks very different. It is 704. Oh, it's 702. That's why it looks different, Liz. Oh, good job I checked. Good job I checked. I'd be saying, oh, this is a real different colour from what it should be. That's better. Oh, for goodness sake. Had a brain, I'd be dangerous. So, yeah, it's just been one of those weeks of things going wrong. So we started off hubby's wheelchair. I don't know whether I mentioned in my previous set of WIP and chats, or kit down and chats as I tend to do these days. I will get some actual work done, but I tend to find if I'm putting things away, we might as well have a chat as well. If I'm kitting up, we might as well have a chat. Yes, 728 is the next one. So yeah, hubby's electric wheelchair, his brand new one that he got in February, kept conking out, which is basically, it kept just flashing. It's got like this little thing where, like a phone or whatever, it shows you how many bars you've got left as to how much charge there is in the battery. And it was actually after the Jubilee, his wheelchair flashed up to say that his battery had run out, excuse me. And we thought, well, that's strange, because, you know, okay, maybe we've left it on or something. Maybe it's, you know, just run down a little bit quicker than normal. 734. So, yeah, we thought, oh, well, okay. So we put it on charge overnight again. And then the next day we went out and we were okay while we were out. And then when I got it out of the boot of the car and brought it back round, it had just run out of charge again. It was just flashing saying that, you know, it wouldn't work, so I had to manually push him. Fortunately, it has got a switch, so you can push it manually, otherwise we'd have been completely stuck. I don't know what we'd have done. I certainly can't lift him to bring him in the house, that is for sure. It does make you stop short when things like that happen though, because you just suddenly think, heck, now what do I do? We're a little bit stuck here. But anyway, so we rang the people that obviously we got the wheelchair from, because it's still under guarantee, you know, we've only had it a few months, and they said they'd send somebody to look at it, and if needs be they would take it away with them and see what they could do. So that was good. So we waited for them. So then say yesterday comes along. Oh my goodness, what a day. So it was hubby's time to go to hospital for his eye injections. He has injections in both eyes. I think I could do with some as well, because I still can't see that. Is that 798 and 799? Yes. Oh gosh. So yeah, he goes every 4 weeks for that. So we had to get up early, because our appointment is 8:45 in the morning, which isn't very good, because that means now that everybody's back at work and, you know, things are more or less back to normal-ish. There's the rush hour traffic to get through, so we have to set off round about sort of 7:45, 8 o'clock-ish in the morning to get to the hospital on time. And also then, you know, that means getting up a lot earlier, because obviously I've got to get hubby out of bed and get him sorted, and, you know, it all takes time. So we had a really, really early start. We're usually up sort of 7, half 7-ish. Depends what sort of a night we've had. If we've had a bad night, we tend to stay and sleep in a little bit more. Millie willing, of course. Millie will always try and get us up early. She gets up with the birds. Once she can hear the birds tweeting, she's up and off. Right, and 800. So we said 798, 799 and 800. Okay, good colour family, all different shades there, just to add a bit of depth. Right. So yeah, we get up. He'd had a bad night anyway. He doesn't sleep because he hates injections. He's terrified of needles. I have a real job actually getting him out of the house into the car to go. He really, really gets upset. So the night before he doesn't sleep. I tend to try not to tell him, but he's sort of twigged on now that if we're going to the hospital early on, that it's going to be to the eye hospital. So yeah, we'd had a bad night, so we were both really, really tired. Anyway, I finally get him into the car and get the wheelchair in the back of the car and shut the boot, and I heard a click and I thought, oh, okay. And at first I thought, oh, well, that's just something's fallen against the boot. You know, sometimes something moves on the wheelchair as you've put it in. And we're in a bit of a rush. We were a little bit late, would you believe? Just for a change. Right, 956. I want to be in box 2 now. Okay. So I have got them here ready because I just can't be doing with getting up and down and moving about. It's far too hot. So yeah, 956. And then I set off in the car, and it's got one of those warning light beep things that comes on that tells you if your doors are open or if the boot's open. And it starts flashing up saying back tailgate, which is the back of the boot, the trunk, whatever, is open. So I went, oh, heck, I haven't shut it properly. Get out as, you do. Went round the back, couldn't open it. Completely locked shut. Oh dear. So I'm trying for ages and couldn't do anything with it. Went to go and ask one of the neighbours, and unfortunately they weren't in. So I thought, well, all I can do is climb over the back seat and pull the wheelchair onto the back seat, because if I haven't got the wheelchair, I can't get hubby out the car. We can't go to the hospital because we've got no wheelchair. What would I have to do? Run into the hospital, which is quite a walk from the car park, get a wheelchair and come back. So I thought, right, so fortunately it's not too heavy, the electric wheelchair, and I dragged it off the back seat. Great start to the day. 13966. And yeah, so I dragged it over the back, I managed to get it in there. I said, right, come on, we'll sort it out later. We need to get to hospital, because I just know he would use any excuse to ring up and say, oh, I can't come. And he does need these injections. You know, we don't want him to lose his sight. They are very important, these injections he has. So we get to the hospital, and obviously I've got the wheelchair on the back seat, which isn't ideal, and get it out and get him in. And anyway, it all went without a hitch, and they were lovely. And you know, he comes out laughing and joking with the nurses. It's all a big, well, it sounds awful, but it's all a big fuss before we get there, and he doesn't want to go, and it's going to be terrible, and he might die if they inject his eyes, you know. Really over the top. He really is terrified. I'm not making fun of it, because I know these things aren't nice. But yeah, then once he's had it done, he comes out, he's laughing and joking, come on then, let's go home and all this. And I'm like, wow. But he does it every time. And I say to him, can't you remember this bit rather than the nasty bit when you're thinking about that you're coming here? Can't you remember the nice laughing and joking with the nurses and the bit when you're coming out? And he's like, at me. Anyway, so we're driving home, and I get home and I ring up the place where we got the car from, and they were the most unhelpful people in the world. I won't go into it, but yeah, they were just really not interested. She said, I said, you know, my husband's disabled, we need the wheelchair in the car, we can't get the, I mean, I suppose we could get the wheelchair in the car because I could put it on the back seat, but it's certainly not ideal putting a heavy electric wheelchair on the back seat of the car. And it's a lot heavier to pull in and out as well. It's, you know, quite difficult to get in and out. So she says to me, oh, well, you'll have to bring the car in then, and the earliest date I've got is in a week's time. So I said, oh, we can't go without the car for a week. You know, we do need to be able to get in and out the car. And I said, well, when you serviced the car, you actually came and collected it. She said, oh, no, we don't offer that service just for repairs. That's only for servicing. And I said, why? And she just couldn't answer me. She just, you know, she said, well, if you've got any problems, you'll have to ring Motability, which, as I say, it's a government scheme where we get the car from, which we're very lucky, and I do really appreciate it. You know, we don't pay for the car. I suppose over the years our tax and national insurance we've paid has paid a bit towards it. But anyway, so yeah, she was really unhelpful. So I rang the Motability. Everywhere's got these menus with like 300 different options. Press 1 for this, 2 for this, then you get through to another one, and it's press 1 for this and 2 for this, and you think, oh dear me, you feel like you've run a marathon by the time you've got all these different options. I'm sure people just think them up to think, well, if we put enough in, then people will just ring off because they can't be bothered to listen. All right, is that 3689? I think it is. Okay, so yeah, I get through to them, and they were really, really good. And they said, well, we can arrange a hire car for you, and it would be a hire car that you would get your wheelchair in, and it would be brought to you and all this. So I thought, oh, well, that's, you know, they were really helpful, really good. But he says, have you tried ringing the RAC, which is like our breakdown cover? Again, we get that free with the car. And I thought, well, how stupid am I for not ringing the RAC? It just never crossed my mind. I just thought, oh, you know, it's a car under this scheme. You know, I don't want to be doing something I shouldn't. And I just automatically rang the dealer, you know, where the car came from. But anyway, to cut a long story short, the RAC man turned up and he says to me, have you tried this button? And I just said, which button's that then? So for the second time in a day, I felt really, really stupid. And literally, apparently, we have one of those boots. It's a big boot that comes up. And it's got a little back window in it. And apparently the back window opens. The actual, just the glass bit in the window. Why you would want the glass bit in the back window of a car to open? No idea whatsoever. But it does. And the button is just further along from where the button is to open the boot. And when you open that little window in the back, you then can't open the boot. and the window was just slightly open. So at some point I must have caught the button without realising, and the back window was just slightly open, which you couldn't tell unless you knew it was open. So it says, if you just press this button here, this window opens. I said, well, we've had the car over a year and I didn't realise it it opened. Mind you, it took us 3 months to find out where the child lock was to take the child lock off the car. So anyway, what number am I looking for now? 3750, 50. Yeah, so that was very embarrassing. And he says, so if you just literally shut this window here, look, your boot will open now. As I say, I've never felt so, well, I have felt stupid quite a few times, but I felt really, really stupid. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And he was lovely. I said, I'm so sorry for dragging you out, and, you know, what a waste of time. He says, well, no, because if you don't know these things, you know, it's all these cars and now all these electric bells and whistles and things that you get. And it's like anything else, unless you actually know, then it's not easy. So he came and went. And then the guy brought the wheelchair back. So this was another person coming to the house that day. And he said apparently when hubby had fallen, he'd broken one of the wires in the like thing that changes the wheelchair from manual to electric. And it was catching sometimes and not others. So that's why sometimes you could use it and sometimes you couldn't. Anyway, they'd repaired that. So we got that back as well. Then I had a grocery delivery, so he arrived and that was all the groceries put away. Then I had a delivery of something else and that person came. Oh, then we had a new wheelchair for upstairs, like a shower chair for hubby delivered. So he came, and then we had some meals delivered for hubby as well. So it was just people in and out all day. Honestly, I just sat down and said, how many people have been in our house today? We could literally have had a complete stranger walk in and just say, oh, I've come to collect this. And I think we'd have just said, yeah, take it. There was just so many people. Thank goodness me. What a chaotic day. We needed a day off the next day just to recover from it. Oh, madness. Absolute madness. Tell you, our days. And then Millie, as I say, the guy who brought the wheelchair back, as he was showing us all the different things, he's knelt on the floor and she climbs up his knees and she practically sat on his knee while he's knelt down showing us the wheelchair and gives him a big sloppy kiss. Fortunately, he did like dogs, so he wasn't overly bothered by it. But, oh dear, I said, you can't keep doing that to people, Millie. Not everybody likes big kisses. And they said, oh, well, you do know my dog's not going to be particularly happy with me now because I'll smell of your dog. I said, oh, I know that feeling. Yeah. So, but what a day. It was one of those days, you know, where you just think, I just shouldn't have got out of bed. I really, oh, dear. But anyway, it's done. We've got the wheelchair back. I now know that there's a button on the car to open the back window. Why you would want to open the little panel on the back window, I don't know. Really don't know. Just seems one of those things that somebody's thought, oh look, we'll put this in because we can. It's not very useful, but we'll put it in anyway. Oh dear. Just hoping when we get the new one, we're going to have an orientation lesson on the new car because we're going to need it. It's got bells and whistles as well, you know. I mean, I just want a car to go from A to B. Yes, I do like, you know, having extra little comfort bits and things, you know, but I want to know where they are and how to use them. And I don't want to feel that stupid again. You could just see it written all over the man's face from the RAC, from the breakdown company. Oh, blooming women. Right, 3865. Let me get my box of 3865s. Oh dear. All fun and games. Box. Oh no, these are squares, aren't they? No, no, they are rounds. I was thinking I've got squares. I was just thinking, oh no, I've put all these squares in rounds, but it is rounds. That's just how my brain is working at the moment, or not working, as the case may be. But yeah, so there you are. And Millie's new little trick at the moment is if she wants to get you up out of bed, she comes right close up to your face, and she puts her nose underneath like your chin and nose and starts pushing it up to get your face off the pillow to get you out of bed. Why she suddenly started doing that after all this time, I have no idea. But that's how she's now getting us out of bed. She's done it 3 mornings on the trot. And then it's not like she's desperate to want to go out in the garden, because I opened the door and she just looks at me as if to say, I don't want to go out. What have you opened the door for? And I'm like, you've just got me out of bed at unearthly hours like 6 o'clock in the morning by shoving my face and wanting me to get out of bed, and now you don't want to go out. It's a good job she's cute. Okay, well, that's my 22 little bags and my 22 little colours. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I mean, I could use them for kitting up, I suppose. Or I could use them for some of my special drills, possibly. But yeah, they're excellent. Love those. But okay, well, that's that all kitted down, and I've had a good natter. And yeah, so I will now get on and decide what I'm going to do with this, whether I'm going to put it in a frame or whether I'm going to make it into a card. And I will come back and let you know what I do. So I hope you've enjoyed this little natter, and thank you ever so much for coming along. If you have enjoyed it, thumbs ups are always much appreciated. And if you've got any comments or questions, let me know in the comments down below. Have you got bells and whistles on your car that you've got buttons you just don't know what to do? Some days I wish I had an ejector seat. I'll say no more about that one. Not for when Millie's sat in the passenger seat, I hasten to add. If you want to come back and see what I get up to next, if you press that subscribe button, you'll subscribe to my channel. Costs nothing, and it just lets you know that when any of my videos come up. So thanks ever so much for stopping by, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.